Hello, hello, hello. Okay, something a bit different today. It's not a phone, obviously. I just wanted to share this with everyone because, let's see if I can get this screen in any kind of nice way for you. For those of us who live in KSA, this might be of interest to you, and possibly you suffered what precipitated me to buy this. Okay, so what is it? Well, to the untrained eyes, this is the MacBook, not MacBook Air, not MacBook Pro. This is early 2015 MacBook, and this cost, that was certainly on a special price in souk.com, was 3,150 Saudi riyals. So I did notice that it went up a bit, a few hundred riyals, but maybe it will come back down again. It's not a MacBook Air, but it certainly looks like one to the untrained eye. It is incredibly thin, and it is very, very light. So, is it worth it? Okay, well, maybe you've been suffering what I suffered with Windows 10. So before I had, before this week, actually it was last week I bought this, so I had the Asus ZenBook Pro, great laptop, 15.6, full HD touchscreen, very nice, but the last two updates of Windows really messed up a lot of my settings, and one really, really annoying part was it would not recognize USBs. It recognised some, it didn't recognise others, and it was incredibly, incredibly annoying. So, with that, also I have a Zotac media PC under my TV at home, and not the May update, the previous update. Since then, it cannot connect to my Wi-Fi at home. It's really, really annoying, and I was just really getting frustrated. So I said to myself, originally I bought the Asus because I wanted to do some more video editing, but I recently did quite a big video, and I borrowed somebody's Mac to do it. So, I'm just thinking, do I really need this? Do I really need this? It was very powerful, i7, 8GB of RAM, 4GB NVIDIA graphics card, but was I really using it? And the answer, to be honest with you, was no. I have an iPad Pro, have an iPhone 10, I'm using them. So, I thought, let me look at the Mac. I didn't want to go with the one MacBook Air on souk.com, and there's about the same price nearly everywhere that I looked. One MacBook Air was under 3,000, but actually I had before. I've owned a couple of MacBook Airs, and it was 11.6-inch screen, I think it is. So it was slightly cheaper, but the thing was, it did not have the Retina screen, and that was like the deal breaker for me, because obviously I had seen Retina screen in whatever shop I'd been, going through and having a look, probably in Daran Mall or in Rashid Mall. So really, I did not want to go into that old screen. I wanted Retina screen. So what are the specs of this for that price? Okay, well, what you get is a Intel Core M processor. It's clocked at 1.1 and has a turbo boost up to 2.4. You get 256 GB SSD. This one comes with 8GB of RAM. I think there's a more expensive one available. I have a bigger hard drive, and 16GB of RAM. This is what this one has. Okay, and the only negative to this, is one thing. I'll get into it in a minute. I forgot about the screen. So it has the Retina screen, and I just have to check on here. The Retina screen, for those who want to know, is 2304 by 1440, so that's 226 ppi. It's a brilliant screen, so it's absolutely excellent. One of the things that are really great about this baby is the speakers. The speakers are really unbelievable. For this, it's great for watching. It is the speaker, and that's not even full volume. For the size of it and for the thinness of it, the speakers are absolutely brilliant. So, really, that is a bonus. Okay, so what was the worst part about it? And it has an has an Intel HD graphics 5300, so it can handle pretty much everything. Okay, so you're looking here. Can you see it there? I'm not sure you can. This is the most frustrating part of it. Okay. And of course I knew this before buying it. This is the charging port. This is the only port other than headphone jack here. It's not even MagSafe. It's a USB-C, and that is the only port. So you need to buy an adapter. And an adapter, of course, this is Apple, so an adapter doesn't come in the box. Anybody else would provide an adapter. So an adapter doesn't come in the box. You have to buy your own adapter. So it's slightly annoying. Again, I knew this, so I've ordered one, and I didn't go for the Apple one. It's too expensive. There's plenty of third-party ones there, so don't be worried about that. That's the only thing that is, depressing about this thing. What made me go for this? I was looking around, and to be honest with you, it was like the next one up that I fancied was into the 4,500, and I was really on a pretty tight budget. I had to sell my Asus, of course, to finance this thing. And I was on a really tight budget. So I sold that. What made me go for this one, apart from the price, was that I'd checked out some reviews, and one guy who was using it for traveling and editing video, and he was using Final Cut Pro, and he said that he did not have a problem with the type of video he was doing. He wasn't obviously editing big movies, but with the type of video that he was doing, he had no problems. And I thought, well, if it can run at Final Cut Pro, then it's not going to have a problem with iMovie, which is the one that I use the most. That really was the deal breaker for me watching that video. I think he's an Anand Tech. He has a web page, and he have a YouTube channel. Check it out; it's pretty decent. That was what made me change my mind and think, okay, it's only 1.1 mobile processor, but if it can do at Final Cut Pro, then it's going to be enough for my small needs, which is iMovie and a few other things. Another reason I bought this was because of I have a project that I want to do, which is to use iAuthor. Now, if anybody doesn't know about iAuthor, iAuthor is a program that you can use. It's only on the MacBook, not on the... Although there's some functions coming to the iPad Pro now in iBooks. The iAuthor is a program that you can use to make interactive ebooks. So your ebook not only can have text and photos, it can have video, it can have animation, you can have it embedded within that ebook, and it's really pretty cool, and it's a great thing for educational purposes, which is yep, sorry about that, my battery ran out. So what was I saying? I can't remember. Camera, yeah, okay, so 480p, that's fine for anything that you fancy to use. I wanted to mention about the adapter here, because if you're going to buy one, I would recommend getting a third-party one. It's cheaper. Get the one with a USB, normal USB, micro USB card reader, and HDMI. You can get them. I think the one I ordered's just about 100 something reals. Don't spend too much more than that. Then you should be really good to go for absolutely anything that you're going to use at all. So the other thing I wanted to talk about before I finish with this is the battery life. I don't know why this page don't want to close. The battery life, let me restart it. The battery life for this has been the reviews Okay. See what I've done? I didn't, okay. Uh-oh, uh-oh. The battery life, it has been, don't look at this because I'm not downloading torrents, 9 hours. Okay, so, and many reviewers have said that this battery life is pretty much 9 hours, which has been rated by Apple, and many of the reviewers saying that the battery life is really, really good. So I haven't experienced anything particularly, what I've noticed, anything awful on this. Let me just do all that good stuff here. No, I'm not downloading anything at all. So great battery life. I mean, look at the size of it, the weight of it. This aluminium body, I mean, it's really pretty cool looking. So I would say for the most part, people who are going to spend a lot of cash to buy this or the model above, I really don't think you're going to be too unhappy. One thing I will mention, just in case, because it did happen to me, was when I was visiting these certain sites that we visit for certain things, for downloading, I accidentally downloaded a program called MacKeeper. I don't remember doing it, so, and I'm usually pretty careful about that. I don't remember doing it, so I googled it, and it's one of these like PUP, potentially unwanted programs, and it's quite difficult to remove it if you're doing just going through the normal way of uninstalling. So the easiest way I found by googling was going to Malwarebytes and downloading their program for Mac. If you haven't downloaded it before, you can get, I think it's a 7-day free trial, but after that you get the free version, which it doesn't give you constantly monitoring online stuff. But it's still pretty good. That's how you get rid of it. So MacKeeper, that's what you use. Also, what might be of interest to some people, if you have a iPad, is there's a number of programs for extending let me find it, extending your desktop if you use. So I'm just going to start it all here for you. So if you have a MacBook and an iPad, can I show you here? Okay, so there are plenty of programs. I went for the cheapest one because I'm Scottish and I didn't want to spend much. The one that I installed was YAM Display. Now this one works via Wi-Fi, so there's slight lag, but let me just see, not too bad. It's not too bad a lag, but you can buy the other one. Actually, this YAM Display have another one, which the YAM Display was like 14 reals, and I think the next one that you can download that will allow you to connect via the lightning connector on your iPad, so by wired connection, which I think would be no delay, wasn't much more expensive, so maybe about 40 reals for everything. There's other ones you can try. There's one called Duet, which seems to be pretty popular, but look, that for some people who may need it and who like the touch interface, it could be something that you could be interested to use. So I just wanted to share that. This one I'm using, YAM Display. It's okay, slight delay. What else can I tell you before I wind this up? I think really that's about it. I'm not a Mac expert. It seems now that I have completely bought into the Apple ecosystem. I have an iPhone X, iPad Pro now, I have a MacBook, so I'm kind of, I still have my Windows Media computer at home with no Wi-Fi connection, which I need to try and sort out. So I've kind of delved into the most expensive, electronic company. What can I do? When your eyes desire something, you want it. So that's it. I think I've given you everything that I can about this. So anybody have any questions, comments, anything that I can try and answer, I will do my best to answer. So there you go. MacBook, early 2015. It's a cracker. Bye.